Hello, my friends, and welcome to the Electric Viking. Fantastic to see you here. It's another beautiful day in a world full of fear and uncertainty around the coronavirus. But I'm here to tell you things are looking up. And I'm telling the truth, things really are looking up. Sales of EVs are going through the roof in almost every country on the planet, at least every Western country. And, well, India, they're going up. China, they're going crazy. So the rest of the world will soon follow in our footsteps. Now, we do have China to thank for much of this resurgence. Remember, the world's first and fourth largest battery manufacturers of EV batteries are located in China. And so is BYD, which I've been talking a lot about lately, because they've just broken the magical point in which EVs become cheaper than gas vehicles, because their batteries now cost less than $100 per kilowatt hour. But another incredible news story is the success of MG Motors. Now, MG were a British company started many decades ago, and within the last 10 years, they faded into almost complete obscurity, and the company virtually ceased to exist before it was bought out by state-owned SAIC, Chinese state-owned SAIC, and in the last few years, it's seen an incredible resurgence in its home country of the UK, or its original home country, in China, and in Australia. Now, the once British, now Chinese-owned brand is enjoying a growth spurt in its spiritual homeland of the UK. MG Motor sales have rocketed by 76.3% year on year, and the Chinese brand sold 520 more cars in the first 6 months of 2021 than it did in the whole of 2019. Now, MG claims it has surpassed a 1.5% UK market share in 5 of those months, and that 31.4% of all the cars it has sold are fully electric powertrains. The average among other car makers is only 8%. Making MG the fourth biggest EV manufacturer in the UK. Now, MG said, as we focus on achieving yet another record year through the second half of 2021, we take huge pride in the fact that we have a very focused and engaged dealer network, great product, some class-leading EVs, a strong model range, and some incredible results to shout about. And they do. They have Australia's cheapest EV, and the funny thing is, it's not even a small EV. It's actually a mid-sized SUV. Now, MG Motor Australia is literally selling vehicles by the shipload, having filled the entire manifest of the Primrose Ace car carrier with 5,000 of its Chinese-made hatchbacks and SUVs, most of which are electric. It is the first time the brand has occupied a whole ship with vehicles bound for Australia, and car-carrying vessels usually contain a mix of different manufacturers. Now, the shipment contributes to around 11,000 MGs that have landed in Australia since the beginning of June this year. Vehicles on board the 17,000-ton, 200-metre-long ship were petrol and electric versions of the ZS small SUV, including the ZST range topper, the MG3 small hatch, and HS medium SUV, including the plug-in hybrid version. Now, in 2020, a shipment of this size would have provided almost enough cars to satisfy MG demand in Australia for the first half of the year. But the brand has grown substantially since, selling almost an entire shipload worth of stock in 1 month alone. In Australia, year-to-date, MG sales were up 240% to June 30, with 20,000 reported deliveries. Now, the MG3 dominates the light passenger car segment with a 30% market share so far this year, pushing the Toyota Yaris to a very distant second with only 13% market share. Now, this is in spite of the fact that MG's small vehicle in this segment, in this light passenger car segment, their small hatch, is petrol only. They're going to be bringing in an electric version soon, which is going to sell probably 10 times more vehicles. So MG are going to completely dominate this segment. Now, in the small SUV segment, the MG ZS has edged the Hyundai Kona out of the top spot too, with nearly 10,000 units sold year to date, earning it a 14% market share. Now, this has made MG one of the top 10 best-selling car brands in Australia from being virtually unknown only a year ago. Now, the good news is that MG plans to keep expanding its product range in Australia with more models, especially electric ones, coming soon. Among these are the Marvel R electric SUV and the production version of MG's Cyberster electric sports car concept, both of which are of interest to the Australian operation but are yet to be officially confirmed. However, MG has confirmed they are bringing in a small electric-only hatch, which, like the MG ZS EV, will sell like crazy in Australia and in the UK. Now, this is just the start for the brand. MG are selling their vehicles, electric vehicles, in New Zealand, and they're going to Europe. Now, personally, I see enormous potential for SAIC. Now, remember that SAIC are part of the Wuling Hongwan Mini EV, which is manufactured by General Motors, SAIC, and Wuling. Now, if SAIC were able to bring the Hongwan microcar to Australia, I mean, of course, it's technically a quadricycle, but if they just added some safety aids to the car, they could technically call it a vehicle, then this thing would sell like absolutely crazy. So guys, I think SAIC are on a huge roll here with MG, and it's only going to keep continuing with their pipeline of models, their pipeline of EV models. SAIC now know, without any doubt, that their EVs sell outside of China. They sell inside of China very well, and they sell outside of China just as well. So I think you're going to see SAIC start to really dominate the sales car charts all over the world with their EVs, particularly, of course, from MG, as MG is still perceived as a Western model car, even though for those who know, it's not a Western car. It's obviously a Chinese car. There's nothing wrong with that, of course. I have no issues with that, but of course, some buyers do. So the good news is you're going to have a lot more choice in the EV segment if you're in the market looking for a car. Just wait a little bit longer and you'll have a huge amount of choice at some really, really good pricing. Thanks for watching, guys. Remember to subscribe if you like the videos or like the channel. Look forward to seeing you on the next one. Bye-bye.